Welcome back to Patman Garage. We're going to finish getting this motor out of this truck. We're going to pull down the accessories off the front of this thing and finish disconnecting coolant and AC lines and fuel lines, and should be just about ready to pull the engine out of the truck. So we're going to dive right into it. Skip the rest of the introductions. Let's get to work. The accessories ripped off this thing. I still got to drop the power steering pump, and I still got to drop the AC compressor. AC compressor is actually seized on this truck, so we're going to be deleting all that off of the truck. And then I need to pull up here. I need to pull fuel lines, both sides, and then work on the harness stuff that's behind the fuel on the driver's side or passenger side, and I should be just about ready to pull this engine out. We're getting there. So luckily this AC system came to us empty. These are the two pipe fittings on the AC lines that go to the condenser. They're 22 and 19, so they're already broke them loose, but they come off like that, and you want to make sure you don't lose your little O-rings there. You want to make sure you don't lose your O-rings, because those are what actually seal the system up. So we're going to put a little piece of tape over those and make sure we don't lose them. And then I got my two harnesses disconnected. Well, actually, I said the two harnesses, and then this guy that goes to the alternator, which is its own separate little harness. But the two PCM connectors, one of them unclips from the top here, the little latch on that guy, and then the big guy actually unbolts, and there's a 10 millimeter that goes through the connector, through the body harness side into, you can see the middle there, has threads in it. And so you need to undo the 10 on that side, just like a normal counterclockwise 10 millimeter, and then the connector will pull itself apart. I think that's just about it. I went ahead and pulled out the breather line on this side, disconnected the rest of the stuff that's laying over here. Still need to do power steering lines. I'll probably let those drip overnight, just so we don't have a big mess whenever we're actually working on it. I think that's about it. My heater hoses are loose, and those just connect right behind it. So we'll just need to make sure that whenever we come up with the engine that we don't get those trapped somehow. But I'll probably just put a big zip tie around all that just to hold it together, just so we don't have to worry about it. And should be pretty close. So the AC lines are ready to come off. I'm gonna have to do this guy is gonna bolt to the receiver dryer, but no big deal there. Cool, man. We're almost there. We got the clamp out of the way. I got my drain bucket down there underneath it, so we'll just pull this hose up and let it go. And the reservoir will drain itself. Could actually pull the cap and speed it up a little bit. We'll let it do its thing. I will finish pulling the, should be a couple 10mm bolts on the pump itself, and I'll just leave the pump in the truck for now. And be one less thing to have pulling, getting in the way when we actually pull the motor out. And yeah, like I said, we're in pretty good shape. I got a couple of more things I want to check. I still got to do engine mount bolts. I'm hoping I can leave the long tubes on the truck. Leave them on the engine. We'll see. And which means I'll probably have to pull my steering shaft. But overall, we're in pretty good shape. Got the power steering pump removed. We got it set up to the side over here. And then while I was doing that, I remembered that he's also got a remote oil filter setup. Let's see if we can see it. So there's the remote oil filter setup. Got the 2 lines coming off to the side over here. And they wrap under the frame rail. And they come over here. So it'll probably be easier to drop the filter housing from the block side, leave the lines attached for now, and then we'll decide how we want to go from there. But we're gonna have to unmarry that somehow in order to pull the block. So we'll probably just unbolt it as if we're doing a oil filter housing gasket. I believe that's probably the easiest way to do this. And steering shaft still, but like I said, we're getting really close. Well, I got about ½ inch worth of lift on it, and I remembered that I still need to disconnect the oil cooler line or oil filter lines down here at the bottom. So I'll do that real quick. Well, not really where I wanted to end up for the night, but I'm tired. Had enough fun. Engine's hanging out, ready to come out, but I was hoping, well, let me start over. I was hoping that I could get the engine to come out with the long tube still attached, and the clearances are just too tight for that. So I'm gonna have to pull at least one of the long tubes off. So it not really what I wanted, but you know, it happens. So was a good stopping point. I went ahead and pulled the AC compressor off. Give me more room to pull that header off. And then we'll get back to trying to pull this thing out, but hoping that with the one of the headers off that we'll have enough room to get it out. We'll see. Fingers crossed. We'll see if that'll work or not. But that's the goal. That's the plan. But engine's in a precarious spot, unfortunately, right now. But it'll hang. It'll hang for where it's at for now. But like I said, we'll get back into this another day and work on pulling this header off, and then hopefully we get this thing out. So until next time, I don't know where this is going to end up in the video, but appreciate y'all, and I will catch you on the next one. It's still dirty.